let's see, what do we got? Let's talk about this SS rope wick stuff, shall we? That's why a lot of you are here. I know that. So, a few weeks back, I talked a little bit about the stainless steel wire rope after seeing some stuff on the e-cigarette forum about it. So this is not my idea. I don't want you guys to think that this is my idea. I didn't come up with this on my own. So I ordered some. I ordered a few different sizes of stainless steel cable. I got it in what's called 7x7 strand. Basically, what it is it's a cable, a stainless steel cable. It's 7 wires that have been essentially twisted around each other to form a cable, and then 7 of those cables that have been twisted around each other to form a larger cable. I tried that out. It worked pretty well. It was really more of like it was really more of like a gravity wick. So like if you're one of these people that likes to to do like an over tilt past 3 o'clock, yeah, it wicks fine. So it worked for, if you wanted to do like crazy low ohm vaping or, going down to 0.5, 0.6 ohms, whatever you want. It would keep up, but I was a little disappointed in the lack of capillary wicking that I was experiencing, and I used it for a full week, so wasn't thrilled with those results. I ordered some 7x19. So basically what this is it's 19 very small wires wound into a cable, and then there's 7 of those cables wound around each other. So much smaller spaces in the wick, but there's a lot more spaces. So in theory, you would think that it would have better capillary wicking, and what I found was that it does have much better capillary wicking than the 7x7. In fact, I found that it wicks even better than mesh, or at least as well as mesh, and I didn't have any issues with large wicks over wicking, which is an issue that I have sometimes with mesh. I found it very consistent and actually worked really well. And not only that, but it's actually easier to set up than stainless steel mesh, because you don't have to roll it. Basically, all that you do to set this up is you take this cable, and you can buy a spool of it. You can buy it on eBay. Some hardware stores will carry it. I'll show this to you up close here. So this is the 7x19. Okay. You're going to want to get some decent wire cutters for it, because this is not something you're going to be able to cut with scissors. But if you've got wire cutters, you'll be fine. And basically, you just take the length of it, measure it up against the addy, figure out how long you want it to be, cut it. You wrap a little piece of mesh around the part where you want the coil to wrap. Excuse me. The reason for that is because if you look closely at this, it's not a tube, it's not a cylinder, it's got ridges because of the way that it's wound. So what'll end up happening is you'll have spaces. If you were to just wrap a coil directly on this, you would have spaces where the mesh isn't touching the wick, and you don't want that. So you just wrap a little piece, enough to go around it maybe like 1.5 times, and that's it, and then I didn't even really oxidize it. I did a little bit, like I just torched it up and down one time to clean it off, make sure that there weren't any machine oils on there, and burn it off, and did the same thing on the little piece of mesh at the top, wound the coil, and that was it. Done. I'll show you the end results here. I have it set up on both of the devices that I'm using right now. This one actually is a little bit gunked up, but that right there is the rope with 28 gauge wire wrapped around, and there's a little bit of mesh wrapped around the top, and that's it, and it works great. And it wicks incredibly well, and I'm vaping fairly low, I mean not crazy low ohm, but fairly low ohm. I think both of these are set up at either 0.9 or 1 ohm, and not having any wicking issues at all. I have it set up on this device the same as well. Pop the top off here, and you can see this one's got a little bit thicker wick, so I only did a 3 wrap, but yeah. So you can get this in different sizes. The one that I ordered is this one is, I want to say, it's not labeled, but I think I ordered 5/64ths of an inch, which is about 2 millimeter. But you can get it in various different sizes. You can find it on eBay. You can get it in various different sizes. No protected, actually it doesn't, and that was the thing that I was really impressed with, because that was the issue that I had with the 7x7, was that I had to do like a full 3 o'clock or higher tilt on something that had a tall tank when it got toward the bottom. I don't have to do that with this. It wicks extremely well, and it wicks further, I found, than the 7x7. With the 7x7, I found that the further the tank went down, the more I had to tilt the device. So I found that it wicked well, but only for short distances. That was my personal experience. Some people on ECF are saying that the 7x7 wicks better. I don't know. That hasn't been my experience. I think maybe that there are people that are tilting, maybe past 3 o'clock, and it's wicking better for them than the 7x19 without a tilt, or with a tilt. I don't know, but that has not been my experience. My experience has been that the 7x19 works better. So if you want to get some of this stuff, now I just want to be very clear. I am not saying that this is safe. I don't know. I did do some research. I mean, it's the same material that the mesh that we use is made out of, so in theory it should be fine if the mesh is fine. Yeah, frostbite, it does depend on a number of factors, including the thickness of the juice. I did try it with different juice thicknesses as well, though. I used a thinned out 50/50 juice, and I also used a 90/10 90% VG that was super thick, and I had no issues with either of them. So if you're interested in trying it out, yeah, Pega, I'm not really sure. I've just done dry burns on them. I haven't used these long enough to have to clean them out. But I think that you would just be able to do a boil and torch, and they should hold up fine. You should be able to rewrap them. But anyway, so what you want to look for, exactly, shooter, which is why you want to burn. You don't want to put it in completely untorched. You want to burn that off, or boil it and then burn it off before you use it. So. Oh, you're talking about initially. Okay, right. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about now. You're going to want to boil it and then burn any possible oil off of it, because there is oil used in the machining of these things, like was said in chat. So that's what I did to clean it. Torched it really well too, just to make sure it burn anything off. Some of these have a nylon cord down the center of them, so you want to keep an eye out for that. It should be in the description of the product. The one that I picked up does not. And you can find them on eBay. You want to look for 7x19 strand. You can get it in various different diameters to fit various different devices. You can make sure that you don't get galvanized. Don't do that, and you want to make sure that it's not lubricated. All of them are going to have a little bit of trace oil on them from the process of making them, but yeah. So Connectivity issues? You mean like fraying? I haven't had any issues with it coming apart, if that's what you mean. I mean, it's still conductive, it's still steel, so you still need to, you know, oxidize a little bit, or, you know, wrap that coil just so, so that you're not getting hot spots. Oh, resistance-wise? Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, you're using this as the wick, not the coil, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure about Home Depot either. I got it off of, yeah, you definitely don't want a vape galvanized rope. And you may be able to do a U-wick with this stuff because it is pretty flexible. I mean, it'd be tough, but, I mean, even pinching this down, and you'd probably have to oxidize, you'd probably have to torch it to get it to stay, but you can pinch that down pretty far, and it's not buckling at all at the top. And it, you know, it springs right back. So this could actually work as a U-wick too. Haven't tried it out yet though. So, yeah. But I mean, I have to say, like, I have had very good experience with this stuff. It's working really well. I mean, now granted, this is a full tank, but like I said before, I mean, even when the tank is down really far, I don't have to turn the thing up sideways to tilt and to get it to wick properly. It just works. You know, I'll show you without any tilt here at all. Works great. It's wicking really well, and like I said, it's not like this is a, you know, a high ohm coil. This is a 0.9 ohm coil I've got set up on here. So, yeah. I have to say I recommend this stuff. It works really well. It's easier to set up than SS Mesh. I'm going to use it longer and continue to use it just to see, you know, if maybe it has any long-term downfalls. Maybe it becomes fragile after a while, or maybe it's difficult to clean and reuse after the, you know, after it starts to gunk up. Maybe it loses some wicking property from gunking up down the center. That's another thing that could happen. I don't know. We'll see. So I will report back on this again, but I am going to continue to use the 7x19. I've had more success with this than the 7x7. So